All right, if you're working with Go, you already know how incredibly fast and powerful the Gin framework is. But let's be honest, what about your API documentation? In this explainer, we're going to tackle that exact challenge, adding beautiful, interactive Swagger docs to your Gin project, and you'll see just how surprisingly simple it is.
We've all been there, right? You jump onto a new project, you're trying to figure out the API, and it just feels like you're staring into a complete black box. It's a super common problem. When there's no clear documentation, getting new developers up to speed is a slog, testing becomes a total chore, and trying to get front-end and back-end teams on the same page, yeah, that can be a real headache.
So what if, instead of a black box, you had a living, interactive map for your entire API? Well, that is exactly what Swagger gives you. This isn't just some static document that's going to be outdated in a week. Nope, it's a dynamic tool that makes understanding and, more importantly, interacting with your API unbelievably easy.
So at its heart, Swagger is built on something called the Open API Specification. You can just think of it as a universal language for describing your API's endpoints. What data they need, what data they spit back out. It basically creates the standardized, machine-readable contract that, anyone or any tool can instantly understand. And the benefits here are just huge. I mean, this isn't just about making things look pretty. Because this documentation is generated right from your code, it is always up to date. And get this, you can test your endpoints directly from your browser. No more jumping over to Postman or another tool for those quick checks. It creates this one single source of truth that just speeds everything up. Testing, communication, and getting new folks on board. It's a game changer.
Okay, so how do we actually get this all set up in our Golang Gin project? You might be thinking it's going to be some complicated process, but honestly, it really just boils down to 4 super straightforward steps. Let's walk through them right now.
So here's our little roadmap. First, we install the command line tool. Then we add some simple comments, they're called annotations, right into our code. After that, we install the middleware that connects everything together. And finally, we just generate the docs. That's it. Simple as that. Let's do it.
First things first, we need the Swag command line tool. You're just going to run this one go install command. Now, here's a really important pro tip. You've got to make sure your $/gpad/bin directory is in your system's $/path. If it's not, that Swag command just won't work from your terminal, and you'll be scratching your head wondering why.
All right, now for the really cool part. Instead of writing your documentation in some separate, lonely file, you do it directly inside your Go code using these simple comments. Right above your handlers, you just add these annotations for the API's title, its description, all the endpoint details. The Swag tool scans these comments to build the entire UI. This means your docs live right next to your code, so no more out-of-sync wikis.
Okay, next up, we need to install the glue that's going to connect Swagger to our Gin application. These 2 go get commands will pull in the packages we need. The first one, Gin Swagger, that's the middleware that actually serves up the Swagger UI, and the files package contains all the static assets for that UI to work. And for our final step, we just run the swag init command. This little command tells the tool to scan our entire project, starting right from our main entry point, read all those annotations we just added, and then, poof, it generates a docs directory that has all the JSON and YAML files that officially define our API.
And just like that, we've done the 4 steps. The setup is officially complete. So now let's talk about the payoff and how we can make this setup even more flexible for different kinds of environments.
Now, what's really, really powerful here is that this setup isn't just static. You can actually programmatically override settings right in your code. So this means you can dynamically change the API host or the title based on your environment, which is absolutely perfect for managing deployments across, say, your development, staging, and production servers.
And here it is, the big aha moment. Once your Gin server is up and running, you just navigate to this URL in your browser, and you're going to be greeted with this beautiful, fully interactive UI where you can explore every single endpoint, see all the models, and even execute API calls directly. It's pretty amazing.
So let's just zoom out for a second here. This is so much more than just a cool technical feature. Integrating a tool like Swagger fundamentally improves your entire development lifecycle. It creates that single source of truth for your API, which benefits everyone, the developers, the QA testers, even the product managers.
The source author, Mobin Shatarian, really says it best. He concludes that this combination offers a truly robust solution. You're getting the insane performance of Gin, paired with the crystal clear documentation and hands-on functionality of Swagger. It really is a powerful 1-2 punch. Look, automating your documentation saves a ton of time and cuts down on errors. It's just a massive win all around. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. If you can improve something this critical with just a few simple steps, what other part of your development workflow is just sitting there, waiting to be automated?